Welcome back everyone to Let's Play Decisive Campaigns Barbarossa, episode number 24. One amendment from last turn. Before I finish this one, I'm going to add High Octane, because I forgot we had this, and it's a perfect time I think to add it to 1st Panzer Group. So they're going to get it. North doesn't really need it because they're encountering Forest. And Center, it could be added to 3rd Panzer Group. But I'm going to wait one more turn to try to let 9th Army move forward more. Anyway, I think I'll hold off. Guderian obviously can't utilize it, so we may even want to use it twice on 1st Panzer Group, so we'll wait and see. Okay, let's see how the turn is resolved. Okay, I guess Moscow is defended. I think that squashes my ideas of just marching on in. Army Group South looks like, are they going to shift around? Oh no, actually this is against Guderian. I was looking in the wrong place. The north part of this. Oh my gosh, they're very aggressive. Okay, well, that's something concerning. Around Smolensk, it looks like they're filling out the front again. I think I'm happy to see that. In the north, looks like they're going to be defending Novgorod. In the south, are they? I mean, they shifted north. Are they abandoning the Crimea? More shifting around Smolensk. Yeah, here's the pocket that we're trying to form in the south. Oh, it's just so well, no attacks, but we'll dissect it more during the history. General Brand and Colonel Enfield report on their tour to Ochakov and the Black Sea coast. Findings: A. The Romanians have sufficient artillery for the assault on Odessa. B. The coastal batteries at Ochakov, still in enemy hands, are no serious threat. C. The question of who will be responsible for coast defense, the Romanians or we, is still to be settled. I don't know if that's really from 29th of August, but we are well past Odessa. Von Bach and center, so nobody in the north gets a bonus, but quite a few people in the center get a bonus, including 2nd, 3rd. Oh, 2nd Panzer Group doesn't really need it. 4th and 9th is very good, as is 3rd, so that's good. Then, oh, this is good. 6th, 17th. I mean, it's everybody except for 1st Panzer Group, I think. 1st Panzer Group has the high octane fuel, so they'll have their own little bonus. Although I wouldn't have minded seeing their name here. But that's going to be very good. And I think actually 4th Romanian probably can't use that, but 3rd Romanian is still active. Okay, so fuel, only one that matters is south, and we got fuel. So the German juggernaut has pushed forward in a lot of places. Let's see the history for last turn. No attacks, as we know. I studied this a little bit. Let's see, what is interesting to note about it? Probably it's important to see the Moscow reinforcements. We'll see that in a second. There's a few movements. I think I actually caught most of this in the first history as it came. So the one unit outside has moved into the city. I don't like that. This is the big one. So I note this starts on step 13, and it goes to step 34, I think. And since I'm assuming that is one unit per 2 steps, then we have 10 units which have just entered here. So, I mean, this is like a full army group. Sorry, a full army that has been brought in there. Sub-movement around in the south as well. It looks like they're a little bit nervous about the openness of Stalino and Rostov in this whole area. I haven't seen any troops deploying near Kharkov, so that might be a good thing for us. If that's a little bit easier. This guy moves north for no good reason, really. Now we're looking over at Kalinin. So more units coming in. Now we have some adjustments along the border there. More units by Kalinin. So yeah, I mean, basically what I had envisioned as a potential to... now they're reinforcing against 6th Army in the south. I thought about the potential of being able to just make a run for Moscow, but I feel like, in hindsight, or not in hindsight, but with the new information of the Soviet turn, that looks very unrealistic. They have probably as many forces as 3rd Panzer Group has, and I have a better idea at this point. So yeah, Guderian's still suffering some pushes, in fact some very aggressive pushes we'll see here in a second. them even kind of cutting off the 34th Infantry. I mean, this guy's going to be almost completely surrounded by the end of the turn. So, shifting there, shifting in the north. Yeah, and then a little bit of shifting around outside of Smolensk, north of Smolensk, even south of Smolensk eventually here. So, okay, this is back down to the south. Yeah, this is where they're aggressive. So you can see 34th only has 1 hex available to it. Thankfully, they didn't completely cut them off. A lot of shifting in the north-south Luga. I think the principle of this movement was to better cover Novgorod. They might have had reinforcements as well, but it looks like it's mostly a shift from the west side of their front to the east, even to the northeast, as they pull back a little bit to do this. So this little thrust of ours on the east side apparently has been they've interpreted it as a very dangerous move on our part, and they're apparently countering it. I would say, so we don't know what information they have, right? We can imagine that their intelligence is reporting well. They may interpret this as the main thrust. I would see it as an overreaction. This is another thing, which I did actually catch this on the original replay, is that it looks like they are shifting their forces out of the Crimea region. They do have this bridge blown, which is going to be problematic to get it repaired, but other than that, they're moving these forces north, and it kind of makes sense. This is not really necessary for us, especially if we can just take Kharkov. I mean, it's like exactly not important to us if we can take Kharkov. We don't need it for victory points at all. More shifting in Army Group Center, more shifting by Novgorod. This was really interesting. Let me go back to this. They have this one unit appear here, just north of the units we cut off. I don't even know how to describe this. I guess south of the Valdai Hills. And they have this one unit appear here that actually disappears by the end of their turn resolution, because I don't see it on the main map anymore. More shifting around outside Smolensk. Some shifting in this pocket that we're trying to form in the Army Group South. I have to say, they didn't seem like they really defended well against it, so we should have the luxury of pushing forward pretty aggressively. Let me also just keep track. 21st is in the city. Okay, good. More movement there. Yeah, so they have units beyond Biasma. Yeah, okay, good. So that's the history. It was actually kind of long, but other thing we should look at, obviously, is the stats. Things have gone a little bit better for us. We've started to narrow down the numbers in the field from around 1,700 down to 1,670. So we dropped it by about 30k. 100k casualty. I mean, this is like so consistent. Yeah. Very, very consistent. So here we go. This is 7k. Let's call that 10k. 10k. 9k. So, I mean, you can call that 10k, 9k, I don't know. So it's very, very consistent here. It's also very consistent here. 130, 100, 100. So, okay, so Army Group North has no action for us this turn in the Finnish theater. Soviets didn't enter the Forbidden Marsh that we'd like to attack. We're resting our Karelian, more offensively oriented unit anyway. So it's a good time for a rest. In the 18th Army area, we're going to do our attacks. I think it makes sense to do these. Push out forces when they're weakly exposed. We were expecting this to go pretty well, and that went as well as it could. Going to move some units forward. Yes, this one I want to move here. We're not going to follow up attack. It's going to free this unit to move up here. And now we have 5 sides of surround on this unit, which is what we want. We could even consider being more aggressive. No, I don't think there's anything more we can do, actually. So let's do this attack as well. Well, we took 1 loss, but I think that's under the terms of acceptable losses. Lowered their readiness a whole bunch, which is actually very important because the 4,200 remaining are nicely isolated in this hex, which we can only attack from 3 sides. I don't want to vacate my front with the other side, so now this unit can do a follow-up attack as well, which means we can get 4, hopefully, 3 sides attack, 285, we're looking good. 40% bonus, hopefully this is just an easy wipeout, and it is. Those units started with very low readiness, only 7, yeah, so this was kind of a foregone conclusion. And there we've cleaned up a few of those conscript divisions. Unfortunately, as I mentioned, this conscript division wisely has decided to hole up in the city itself, which is a red dot, which means that they can supply themselves. They're not out of supply. I guess we will eventually get to them, right? Eventually. I'm gonna have this unit actually move back to. I don't really care if they move out of the swamp. I mean, the swamp's not a great place for them anyway. But if they move out there, we can counterattack. Maybe it'll weaken them enough here. We can move in. So yeah, I mean, it's gonna be a little bit of muddy, swampy business ahead of us. First is Talon, and the way to handle this is probably just accept that we're going to take losses, surround on 4 sides, put as many units as we can into the attack, and I think we'll take it on the first attack. They're pretty weak here. I mean, I suspect that we'll take some losses, some real losses, but yeah, okay, so that's that part of it. Because 16th Army is resting this turn, don't have too much to do. It's kind of funny, I'm not even sure what to do with this. Part of me wants to even continue to move up the Valdai Hills, just conquer more territory, but it's completely strategically uninteresting to us, so I'm not going to. I'm going to move this guy back on this side of the river. I do suspect that we're going to want to move this Panzer Group headquarters at least 1 forward, just so we have a little bit better, coverage of our units, our subordinates. I like the idea of doing this attack. As far as I can tell, since this unit does have tanks, it's not able to, it's actually cut off. Can't move anywhere. So I'm going to try to take advantage of that by eliminating it. Let's see if that works. Yeah, so the division, this is not like a shattered thing. It was only panicked, but it's because it had nowhere to retreat to. You can see that because both the roads out of there, and tanks can only travel into marsh or out of marsh via roads. Both the roads were cut off. Okay, so I want to move this infantry, which, by the way, the entire 4th Panzer Group, unfortunately, has this penalty that the Führer... Micromanagement of the Panzer Group by the Führer loses 30 action points. So we're actually a little bit on the poor side of action points for this turn. Nonetheless, doesn't mean we can't do some work. I want to put the infantry in here so they can attack out of it. They don't suffer a penalty attacking out of a marsh, or obviously the armor just can't do that. We're going to move our armor up here, and what we're going to do is try to push through this area to get the full surround on Pskov, and probably that'll be 16th Army's first task as soon as they come back from their merry vacation. In order to clear the way, we're just going to push with some very elite units and take, oh my god, losses. Much worse than I expected, but it wasn't too bad, right? Could have been worse, but I mean, I wasn't expecting to take any losses. Maybe I'm being spoiled by positive battle results or something, I don't know. Anyway, because we already moved an armor division into this one that can't move further, we can move both those guys forward. They can't do anything further, or they're also suffering. Everyone's suffering from this Hitler's meddling type thing. Whether or not you believe that's the reality, the historical reality or not, that's the mechanic in this game. And we're in pretty good position here. Obviously, we can't really do much offensives against the pretty massive wall of troops they've put up. So we'll just go ahead and reinforce the furthest forwardmost point. Those are both reinforced now. And, I don't know how we'll manage this exactly, but I think it's a problem for another turn, and therefore a problem for future Tortuga to solve. And that means I think we're done with Army Group North. Okay, Army Group South is definitely going to be the longest one for us this time. I think we have a lot to do. Also, kind of take a mental image of of the territory we have. I think we're going to gather up a bit of territory, especially in this middle area. So let's get right to it. Let's see. So 4th Romania is not going to do anything. We'll start with 11th Army. There is some basically we were going to try to find the best units to attack with. Now, the one big consideration I had before, during my prep, was maybe even not even doing anything with 11th Army, because a lot of their units, 56 readiness, look over here, 24, 40, 39, 41. Those two are okay, so we can actually move both of those forward because they're going to be helpful in any upcoming attacks we may want to do. But a lot of the other units are not going to be very helpful, and that's, it's kind of a bummer. I'm still going to take the 43 into the attack over the 47. The 47 into the attack over the 43. 43 is going to ship off over here. That's going to allow these units to move up here for now, where they will stage and eventually move north. But I think we're going to try to take care of that fortified unit first. Okay, so that's done. Next up is probably this guy will shift. Maybe he'll end up here. Yeah. So we're going to do this attack, and we're going to try to do it with our best individuals. So the 40, and how about the 43? So we're actually below our attack stack, which means I could, and I really should then add in the other guy. And this is a 40% bonus against one weakened, but one normal garrison, conscript. Two divisions, 1.5 divisions, let's call it. At least we didn't lose any tanks, but we lost 4, and they lost a lot more than that. So that looks like it was a very good attack. 800 for 6,000. Those are the kind of odds we're looking for. We're probably just gonna move everyone in, and we definitely want to do a follow-up attack. Yep, already went. You did not, so we'll have you hang out for just a moment. You're gonna sit here so that you can. That's where you're gonna end up. So there you go. There's one other person, one other division here who moved in, so we might... Yeah, we're going to have them move in here as well, although they probably aren't going to do the attack, because we do want somebody to be able to attack from this side. Oh, you also. Okay, well, I'm just planning ahead here that we're going to have some units attack. Maybe even we'll want a 4-sided attack. Let's see how much action points the armor has left over after this, but let's see, who do we want to take? So they should be very weak now, 14 and 18. Yeah, and they've been defeated twice, though. Sorry, that's only once, but they've been defeated, so they're also a little bit lower on strength than they were. I'll take this unit, a 70. Or is that a better one to attack the new one? No, I'm going to take them here. 23. We really can only take one more in with us, right? So 24. Splitting hairs. Alright, I'll take the 23. Alright, it went very well, so the follow-up attack, as it usually is very effective at eliminating a few extra folks. Let's see where they went. Okay, they crossed the river, so we're not going to pursue them any further. Even we don't have the action points to do so with some of our folks. Yeah, but this is good, so he moves in there for free, still has 70 action points remaining. You don't have any, and I think I will move you down. It's kind of a tough call. I wouldn't mind having one more unit to defend, along the way. Might just leave this unit here. Nah, you know what? We're just going to move in. In fact, what I'll probably do is attack with this unit down, but then move him over to the southeast. If I can, I'm not sure. Depends on how long this one attack takes, but we can attack from 4 sides now. Now we have a little bit higher readiness on these folks. We'll take the 64 and the 63. Take our 30 because he's the only one. Our 24 who's also the only one. And then we have this tank. So we have plenty of extra. I grab somebody else and that puts us at, it's an 80% bonus, 350 versus 47, so we're in good shape in a lot of ways. We can still grab this unit, so I think I will. In fact, I think that he'd be better off attacking than this unit, which we can move to the southeast. It's 30 versus 14. Oof. Okay, I take it all back. Well, I don't know. It does make more sense to have that guy defending on the east than the other one. I'll do it this way. This guy's going to take some losses, I think. Okay, not too bad. So we took 4, they took 18, so 4 to 1. 3,600 down for 800. One of the other rallying cries for this turn is for Tortuga not to be too hesitant about sending troops forward, which I normally am. I don't want to spend... You know, this guy's down to 1 readiness. My god. You know, we really want their readiness to recover, and this is probably not the right way of going about it. But I do want to also make sure that anybody who can do a follow-up attack does. Let's see if can anybody? This one can. Okay, good. We do have some. So you're a freebie to move in. You're not going to move anywhere. You're going to shift here, I guess. And you're going to shift here for free. But... yeah, you're also for free. You're also for free. So, how are we looking here? We don't really need another unit to help in this attack. I assume that 18 readiness, we should be pretty good. But we could actually, if we want, hold back the armor, which is already at 55 readiness. We don't really need him for this, so let's just go ahead. So what we're going to end up doing is shifting 2 people. We have 4 here total, 3 here, and then 1 unit in this hex as well. So we'll end up making that 2 and 2, which means this guy can also go and do the attack here. I don't think anybody... oh, yeah, this guy can actually do the attack from that side, which we'll have him do, and that's actually perfect. He'll hold there to hold that hex. So, all but then take away the armor, even though the armor is... yeah, no, it'll stay there, I guess. Okay, good. We didn't take any losses. I think we just better not to risk the armor. We've gotten lucky so far and taken no losses. So that's good. So already a pretty aggressive turn. Oh yeah, that guy could move forward, I forgot. And we have 2 units to... yeah, you know what? We'll move forward just so we have a little bit more to defend the new hex. Oh, and you can actually do a follow-up attack. That's great. Answer is yes to that. Okay, so the one who can move forward will. And now I almost want that unit to be able to come down here. Well, he's at 4 readiness. I feel like the follow-up attack is a good idea. It is a unit with 37 readiness. I mean... I'm going to do it because it's 37 versus 4. Let's see. This is basically a curiosity. Hopefully we don't lose too many people to explore this situation. Looks like it was the right idea. Got 11 to 1 on it. Killed some tanks as well. So all in all, I think that was a big win. So you can move down further south. And I mean, we punched all the way from wherever we were. I guess basically where the HQ is. And we've made it all the way to the river. It's pretty cool that we made it that far. I'm going to move my HQ here, I guess. At least here. Let's, because of the end screen having the HQ radius on it during those screenshots that I was showing at the end of last turn, I really want to make sure I turn that off now because that was so annoying to me. It's probably minor, but okay, we're in very good shape if we park him here. So yeah, then the question is, I'm probably going to move you over here. Or should I just move 1? I think I'm just going to move 1. Let's take the best guy, which is this 100, and move him here. Good, done. Reason why I didn't move both, actually, in the end, I was thinking it'd be better to have somebody already in position for a 5-sided surround on attack on this. Or, you know, we may want to just try to come off here and then eliminate them. But the name of the game, in my opinion here, is just to... This is not... Nikolaev is not a city which has the red dot. It can be cut off and drained of supply. It's going to take a while for this bridge to be fixed anyway, so my plan is just to try to take both sides of the bridge and let everybody else in this little pocket starve. Now, it's only 6 people, or maybe... I mean, it'll probably be less by the time we actually capture it. You know, some will attack them and they'll be pushed back over the river again. So even if it's only 5 divisions, it's just... It's probably not, even if it was more than 5 divisions, it probably wouldn't be worth starving them out, but for only 5, I probably won't do that. Nonetheless, that is the turn for 11th Army, and I feel like I already completed the turn. It's already been 10 minutes, crying out loud, looking at the timer. Let's go up to the 3rd Romanian. They have some work to be done, and speaking of very low readiness, this hex just says it all. 33, 17, 32, 26. It's really, really bad. But we want to do, and actually what I want to do before that even, perhaps, I guess I'll do it this attack second, but I want the really high readiness, which is our 97 here. And again, we have this, this 3rd Romanian also would receive the action point benefit for good relations. I want to do an attack on this unit, but then I also want to make sure I push back this unit. I don't know what they'll do next. They'll probably just sit there, but they will entrench. So we're just going to do the attack. So let's do it like this. All get rid of the HQ. This is a good surround, 40%. It's funny, we have everybody in the army attacking. I already said this, I think, but it still doesn't put us over the attack stack. Okay, so that was not a good attack. It was only 3 for 5. But at the same time, those are only Romanians, right? This hex is, well, it had really lousy. It has even worse now. I think we'll take this 4 and move it back over here. The one here is moved down to attack, which means now anybody else... Okay, one person can follow up an attack. I think I'll take the 21 from here and have them follow up as well. So it's kind of a question whether or not we should do an attack with a 21 and a 19 versus a 15. You know what, I'm just going to go ahead and say that's going to be a negative. But we do want, unfortunately, so 74 and 88, this is a little bit better. We have a 98 over here. I want to push this guy back over the river. So we're going to do the attack. It's only a 20% bonus, which is basically the 40% divided by 2 for attacking on opposite sides, but only from 2 hexes otherwise. Plan to take some losses. That's actually a lot worse than I was expecting. I was expecting maybe 2 to 1. We basically went even. 1,400 on there, 1,200 on ours. And unfortunately, even more unfortunately, most of those were the German infantry, not the Romanians. Anyways, we did lower their readiness, but that was not a very good attack. I don't know if it was actually worth it in the end, because that was pretty bad. Nonetheless, I'm going to go ahead and drop this infantry down here. 3rd Romanian is supposed to be mostly a defensive unit anyway. We're just trying to hold this little part north of the river, and now we've basically done that. I think even the 2nd mountain, they're literally at 0 readiness, which is, I mean, it's hilarious if also, you know, very, very sad. I just kind of want to hold Gomel, and they're definitely pushing that far against us, so we'll see how that goes. We're contesting this hex, so that's all I'm really going to ask of 3rd Romanian for now. They probably, I think I'm going to do it. In fact, I'm just going to do it because they're so combat ineffective. It doesn't make sense not to. I will rest 3rd Romanian this turn, and I'm committing to it right now. We don't have to play these cards always at the end of the turn. Okay, now the fun is going to begin, I guess. Don't even know if I should begin from the west side or the east side. I'm expecting that these, probably at least this one is an HQ, but this one may also be an HQ. Plan is, by the way, to have 17th Army shift all the way to the east. Now, when I say that, it won't actually happen this turn, because we have a little bit of work to do against some of the conscripts on the far west. For starters, we're going to do an attack from everybody over here. Looks perfect, 80% bonus, below the attack stack. Yeah, I don't think there's anything more to say. We have 1, 2, and we have 1, 2 on the side. We really don't need to be attacking with both of them, but since there's no penalty to it for attack stack wise, we might as well do it. It's a slightly small amount of additional firepower. Alright, and that went very well. 9 for 0. So we pushed those conscripts out, and obviously we don't want to push them that far. This is all about just getting the pocket. But I also need to shift. It's funny to think about it this way. I need to shift to the east, because my HQ... I mean, even right here, this hex is the last hex that it can cover. And I think what we're going to end up doing is attacking and ending up in there. Yeah, that's what my plan was. But now I'm seeing that that's going to force the 17th Army headquarters to stay there. But that's fine. We'll hold along the road. In fact, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, so it actually holds literally along the road. This is the mark. And it crosses here. We can't actually enter that city from where we are. But this is still pretty good. I mean, that's enough for us. We can hold up the road. So we'll go ahead and do this attack as well. In fact, I want one of these 2 guys, if possible, and it is possible, to shift north. So we can do this attack from 3 sides instead. I think I want you across as well. What's the attack stack looking like here right now? Well, that's too many, but that's because we're attacking with the 6th Army, which we don't want to do. And yeah, we have room, so we'll get 1 more across. In fact, I probably even want this guy to come across, which means now it's probably too many. But since this unit's in the mountain and across a river, and these conscripts are going to have more on their mind, I don't think that this first mountain has to be worried about an attack. So we'll go ahead and do this attack, that, and the other. Looks like we're okay. We could reduce one, but I think this is going to be fine. We're only slightly over the attack stack. I'm going to do it anyway. In theory, we could take worse losses. We took 2, they took 10. Alright, 5-1 is fine. We won the territory, pushing them back. We know ultimately, though, we shouldn't try too hard to eliminate forces right now, because they're all going to be eliminated eventually when we close the pocket. So that's the long-term plan, we should keep that in mind. I think I'm going to attack this unit because I do plan... Oh, we have 2 here, that's right. So... Okay, well, it's time to find out what this thing is. I think I might even use the motorized to do this. Basically, I want to march this way. And if it's a unit that this motorized can take on solo, so you know, I'm hoping it's an HQ. It does seem like it would be just a solo unit. Then my plan is to push it back, but actually let's do this first. Okay, and then push. Okay, I think this is fine. We could go one more even, but let's wait and see what happens. Okay, so let me see what we got here. Okay, wow. So there's probably a lot of HQs. Yeah, it is. Okay, so let's do the attack. Alright, killed one. Yeah, this is good. We're gonna push him right into the arms, the welcoming arms of our other unit. Push, push, push. Oh, okay, even better. I didn't expect that. So this has 100% got to be an HQ then. We actually pushed this unit back and took over this territory just because ours, you know, difference of zone of control points, strength points gives us the claim. I don't think we need to worry about attacking an HQ much, so we'll do the attack. I don't think this motorized has any points yet. 25, so we'll do the attack with everybody, which is you. And you're gonna push them south. Unfortunately, there's... Are they at 0 readiness? They're at 1 readiness. Okay, so you technically could do an attack on that one as well. We'll need to coordinate this, but what we've already done, I think that this was probably going to be clear as my objective of this turn, is I wanted to form the pocket, and we've done that. And let's see how many there are in here. 3. So let me call it 2, because I'll only count combat divisions. So 3, 6, 9, 15, 17, 19, 22, 25. We got 25 divisions here. Now that's really not the same thing as 25 divisions, you know, like a month ago in game time. Because these are conscripts, first of all, so they're kind of a little bit less valuable. But even as even as far as headcount goes, these are a lot more understrength divisions. I mean, a lot of these are the tank divisions, which are very understrength. But even the conscript ones, we're seeing, you know, 2,200 forces, even the full strength ones, only 8,000. So it's a far cry from what it used to be. But people have commented about this on the previous episode, and it's something that I think is really true. I think that we may have, already have defeated the Army Group South Soviet forces when we crushed the big pocket at Proskourum. So this is just, you know, icing on the cake. It's probably unnecessary, but it's really going to open up Kharkov, and I mean, it should open up everything in Army Group South from here on in. Which means that the trains we're having problems finding, hopefully it won't matter. Gosh, I need to move faster. This turn is just, it's going slow. So we have this one HQ way up here we could go after and harass. I was thinking maybe the Hungarians can do that. I'm guessing it's an HQ, but if we get here, we'll have 95 movement points spent. So we should have 55 left to go. That's at least one attack. It might be 2. And also, so we'll be out of supply line. By the way, I didn't do this already, but where I want to go is move right between the 2 mountains right here in the plains. So then we'll have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this line is going to be the limit. So 1, 2, 3. So right here. So we'll get from here to here. God, it's so hard to... my brain can't process that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Good. So that makes sense. I mean, we'll just put the HQ there, and now we can just look at it. It's in red, although I'm going to turn that off. So that's where we want our units to end up. If we push the Hungarians up here, I'm going to do it. I really want to try to kill these HQs. We get such a bonus from it. Kill it. Kill it with fire. Down to 15 readiness. That's already something, meaning that... okay, oh boy. Well, yeah, well, okay, now we know for sure that those are HQs. So we'll be out of supply for one turn. If I move this unit back south, and I probably will end up doing that, he'll be able to get back into the command radius the next turn. And another thing, though, that I didn't consider, but I really should have, is we should be moving this HQ all the way around to the north, because we now have a road from Kiev up here that we can use. So pretty much we're going to need to clear up this pocket as quickly as possible so that we can use that road instead. And that's going to be a lot better. Okay, well, let's keep moving, though. What I want to do is I would like to attack... Can you attack? Who can attack from the south? Can anybody attack from the south? So I wanted to attack from 4 sides, but it doesn't look like that's possible. I thought I could. Anyway, so we have some forces here. 2 infantry, so let's not use any of our mechanized or motorized forces. Let's shift you over here. I guess we'll shift the cav up, and then we can attack with... How does that look? Yeah, we can probably bring in the other one as well. A little bit over on the attack stack, more so than before, but only 1 unit here is combat effective. They have 1 division, so hopefully this, with the 40% bonus and all that. Is it okay for us to actually just use these guys, though? So I guess what I need to do is move the 17th Army first, because it's possible that I'll want to do the attack with 17 Army forces as well, and I think that is what I want to do. So, what's the plan with 17th Army? Well, I want to come down here and put pressure against this unit. However, I also want to make sure that we get our infantry into Pavlograd, because we're going to completely vacate this area with the 1st Panzer Group. So I'm just going to commit to this, because otherwise we're not going to have any forces there, and that's... I mean, I could have stuck like a Panzer in, but then they'd be out of command range, which I don't really want to do. So we have forces on 3 sides now. It's not difficult for us to get one. Sorry, here we go. 1 over, and then another unit to attack here. So we basically get full 5 sides of surround. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then also cut them off here so we can't retreat. That's kind of what I want to do, since we already have taken the river, and this guy can just go here. Now, who is the other one? Can you attack, though? You can't. What? There's something I'm missing. Forgot how this is supposed to go exactly. Well, I want to move this guy over, because if he moves here, he won't be taking the river penalty. That would be preferable. Yeah, what is the deal? I don't remember how I was supposed to do this. So you can move... And you can move, so that's 60, well... Alright, let's go ahead and do this, and then have this unit... Doesn't really matter which one we attack from, I guess we'll attack from the city. So, oh no, we want to do this because it'll be of actually higher concentric bonus for this, having 3 and then 1 on the opposite side. It's actually better. And then we don't have anyone to spare. Okay, well, let's do this 4-sided attack. I feel like this is still an okay decision. 50% bonus, 353. To me, it seems like... Oh, wait. Nope. Oh, we get 100% bonus. There we go. That's better. Yeah, we could attack with more if we had them, but we don't. Oh, and we see that there's guys over there. But 100% bonus, I feel like that'll counteract the entrenchment. And it did. Okay, good. So that's 1 for 35. That was definitely well worth it. Eliminated that troop. Yeah, we'll push this guy across. We'll leave this unit here. Really, I guess we'll just move forward and form a nice defensive line. So, Dnep Dnepro, as we're just going to call that, is it's nicely secured. We don't have to worry about it. Now we can do our attack here, knowing that we can use the 17th Army forces if we need to, or if we want to. Can you attack by moving? Yeah, so I can actually move this unit over, and man, this one could have gotten into Petrograd, so I didn't have to do what I did. But, you know, it's already done anyway. This is the problem. I was hoping this turn wouldn't take a long time, but it's just, like, unavoidable. So much to do. 50% bonus. Can we attack with that unit? Yeah, what I want to do is shift one of these guys over, though. Let's shift you over, and then I'm just going to have this unit move here for now, because I just want him not to be... I don't want to think about him. Alright, so let's deactivate those guys and that should be what we actually want to do. It looks right to me. Nice bonus, 75%, even though it's 2 armies. And we're doing great as far as the combat rates, other stuff. Wow, we shattered 2 divisions right away. That's what we get for doing a nice attack. And the other one is, I mean, so broken. Down to, well, it's done. It's got 23 readiness. I guess most of the attacks landed on the 2 that shattered. But we only lost 1 unit for all of that. And I say all of that, it didn't look like all that much. I guess they were very under strength, as I was already referring to. Okay. Well, I'm not sure if they need to go across. Let's move these guys up. And this unit can go across. That is good, so I can be attacking with just 1 army. I want to do that. And maybe even another one on this side so I can get it all the way. That would be good too. So we can do attack from 1 from the mountain and 1 not from the mountain. Too bad I can't get 1 guy over. But because those guys are there, this unit can move forward or basically go wherever we want him to go. I think we want him to go here. Alright, so the cav can move forward. Really doesn't matter. I mean, we'll just move him there for now. And we want to do some attacks against these tanks as well, definitely. And we have, who do we leave behind? So your story is, wow, you have tons of movement left. Yeah, it is a good question. Where do we move this unit? I guess I'm going to stick him in Pavlograd. That's the edge of... No, we can actually move him north. Well, I would love to hold... If I could, I can't move him north. Dang it. I was going to say, I would love to retain this forest. But that's... I don't know if we're going to be able to do that. Alright, Pavlograd it is. And you... I guess we will move you across since it's going to be more useful to have you across the river in upcoming turns. Okay, very good. So I think things have gone spectacular so far. Just let me give you a quick cut to try to collect my thoughts. We've already done a lot. Okay, let's get this unit, move him all the way over here. Get the armor in here. Ooh, maybe we should do that. Can't do that with this one though. I didn't even consider that. See, it's just, there's too many different angles to consider. I do think it would be worthwhile to attack this 1 tank unit from multiple sides, just to wear him down on the first attack. I would like to do that, so let's just go ahead and be a little bit more aggressive. And then let's use the 70 against him as well. Doing a 3-sided attack. Hopefully we take no losses now. My goodness, we took some losses. Wow! 3 Panzer IIIs. Well, I was hoping to get away... exactly trying to avoid that kind of a result, but I guess it was unavoidable. Alright, well, we want to move forces in. Probably should have just kept somebody there, but we can do a follow-up attack with what? 1 tank division. I want that to be more than 1. Let's first break this unit by moving you... Sorry, move you there. We could do this attack with multiple. I think we will do it with this unit as well. So... This guy's at 38 readiness. Don't think it's going to be hopefully that bad of a fight. Okay, we still lost a Panzer III. They're just like cannon fodder, apparently. Didn't really do that much damage to the enemy either, but we did knock him down to 6 readiness, which means hopefully that this next attack... Well, we're only going to do it against this unit, so we're not even going to attack the same unit. Because he's now nuzzled his way into the lines with the infantry. That's okay. We'll still go and do an attack on this unit instead. Probably have too many units who are attacking him. So who is attacking him? We'll actually take the one from up here. And I think this 60th infantry is not going to be involved. The reason is this one has so many movement points, I want them to shift north instead. And that actually puts us right at the attack stack, so that's a good sign. Hopefully no more losses, thankfully no. They're down to very low readiness, so they're probably combat ineffective. We could follow that up, but unfortunately they also now have integrated themselves in with more fortified lines with infantry. So yeah, there's this little gap here, but that's not a big problem. We'll shift probably the best of our 2 motorized divisions, 73 and 73, what do you know? So 60, let's see, 98, 70, 40, 98, 70, wow, that's insane. They are identical. Is there any 35? 35, they are truly twins. Well, we'll shift one over. We might even shift, okay, so you come up here. Oh yeah, we don't have any other forces that can go up there. You haven't done anything yet, so you probably will also come over here. I basically just want to attack the 107th Tank Division. So I plan to do that with these 2 folks on this side, and then some infantry on the other side. Let's also go over to the 6th Army and finish off stuff on the west. Do this attack from 5 sides. Very convincing. Got very good results there. 16 for 0, so 3,200 down, but no German casualties, which is great. We could do a follow-up. The problem with that follow-up is they do have, yeah, they actually have an intact unit in the marsh there. So what I want to do instead is probably put these 2 forces so we can do a follow-up attack against this unit. I don't know if this is even a follow-up attack, but this guy's at 48 readiness, so I feel like he's worth attacking. And I didn't do anything, so we didn't lose anybody. Hooray! But we eliminated 9 as well, pushed them back further into the marsh with lower readiness. Not necessary to do this at all. It really is not. And probably what we'll do is, yeah, I think we'll just shift this guy further that way, which is good. So we have a nice defensive line here. And now what I want to do is attack this tank division. I also want 1 unit to split up down here and not do the attack, so that we're ready next turn to potentially do a more sided, 1 extra side of attack will be ready for the future. We're planning ahead, which I think that's an important part of this game. This will be done from 4 hexes, 50% bonus, and we're only attacking a tank division. I hope that this goes well. That's going to fully cut off this HQ and a couple of the infantry conscript divisions. Good. I just couldn't stand to lose more. Well, these are motorized and they seem to be more robust. These tanks just die very quickly. Yeah, in order to continue with our surrounds, I'm going to move 1 unit in here, and now we have what looks to be the final resting place of most of our units. So you can move forward, and this is a 0, so that's where you will move forward. But everybody else is pretty much where they need to be. And we can move these units forward as well. Great. So you can see that we could, in theory, move to Kharkov, but we know that there will be people there. So let's go ahead and just assist this motorized in defending. And then you will... Yeah, you'll assist that unit, the SS motorized with defending. And then these 2 are ready to support wherever they're needed next turn. And that is our turn, which ends with all but 1 of our units, which, yeah, we will go ahead and take the opportunity to move him south so that he can get back into command range next turn. We'll probably have to keep this unit here next turn just for one more. Just because I don't think we're going to be able to cross. I guess if we attack... I don't know. We'll see. But that has been a very long turn. It's also been a very productive turn. So look at this. The circle has embiggened, and we're very close to the bridge, although it's broken in the south. I don't know. This was very, very big advances, and I feel like this is really the curtain call for any Soviet forces in Army Group South. They may have some left, and we do see some conscripts forming, but I just can't imagine that they will pose any serious resistance for us after we are able to cut this thing off. Well, I think we've made excellent gains in Army Group South. Probably I've already said that 1,000 times, but just looking at it again, oh, it's nice. Army Group Center is going to take too long for us to finish before the end of this episode, so what I'm going to do instead is go over the decisions. We don't really even need to rush through these, but I've still ticked off a few of them that, that don't really, we can just kind of breeze through some of them. 28th Infantry Division and 9th Army, which is here, has received the propaganda, so that now they'll have a boost to their action points, I think. I chose not to relocate the airfield in Army Group South this time, but it is kind of interesting to consider when we might want to move to Pavlograd. So I might... part of the reason why I didn't do it is because we don't really have the political points right now. We're a little bit tight. When this comes around in 3 more turns, I probably will do it. In hindsight, even though it's like I already did it, but I think I should have moved the airfield because we don't really need the air bonus for the next few turns when we're clearing up. Hopefully we can do that mostly with infantry anyway. And we might need the offensive capability of the Luftwaffe on our Panzer group when we get going again. And then the only difference would be Pavlograd would be a little bit better off as an airfield because it starts at 60. It's very bad quality. It just happens to be that it's a lot closer to the front where we will be fighting when we're moving towards Rostov. But at the same time, with this second big pocket eliminated, we may not really need the offensive capability. So that's another counter argument. This is one that I'm actually going to do. So in Army Group North, we currently are in Duneburg, Daugaspils, and I have the option to move just a little bit further to Ostrov. Now, it just so happens that the train situation we can spend a little time and look at logistics here, since we have a little bit. We're not doing Army Group Center. So you can see that Army Group North has 11 trains available, and only 5 were needed for fuel transfer. And part of that is because we're getting the 4 trains from the different... These shipments are counted as additional trains. They're effectively trains. So that gives us the additional 4. We're up to 11. All that is to say that if we have a choice between taxing the rail more or the trucks more, we should tax the rail more. And that's what moving us a little bit further to Ostrov is going to do. So I'm going to agree to it, also because this is 0 political points since this is Hitler's prioritized theater. So I think it's worth it to do. We have plenty of fuel saved up. It'll take a while, it's true, but we have 21k fuel, and I don't think that 4th Panzer Group has really anywhere to go to spend that. So I think that we'll be fine, even if we full on use this. I think we're at like 5+ turns of fuel, so we can get away with doing that. What else? Truck refit and Army Group North. We just talked about this. I just don't really have the political points to muster this. I want to gather some political points, save it. So I can always just ask to be reminded in a week. And then I can also do Army Group North, Eisenberg. Okay, yeah, so we have a few rolls here. Yeah, so we're going to try to continue operating with an unsecure zone and just try not to get too many of these. It's actually not too bad if we lose a little bit of effort. At this point, the rails are almost as far as they really need to go. Rail conversion is not currently the limiting factor. So I think we can be okay with the results even if they're both negative. I would prefer this, though, over the Protective Doctrine. Yeah, we lost both of those die rolls, unfortunately. At least von Brauchitz is going to be happy about that. Yeah, and I guess I'll just do this. So at least von Lieb isn't that upset. Okay, so that's the end of decisions. I don't think there's any other cards I want to play. We don't really have any need to rest anyone. 3rd Panzer Group's probably only is like the next up in the queue eventually sometime in the future. I'll tell you when in the future is after, definitely not this turn. So we have some work to do. In fact, I kind of wish I had played... Oh, did we only get one? We only got one. Okay, so I thought we had 2 of those cards, the high octane fuel. If we had another one to play, I would play it on 3rd Panzer Group right now. Not that I regret playing it on 1st Panzer Group. I think that they're doing very well with it. But, you know, even with the presence of these Soviet forces, there's some tricks that 3rd Panzer Group is going to try to play, and extra action points would definitely be welcome. Anyway, I don't really know if there's anything more we can do this turn besides Army Group Center, and that's going to take probably 15 minutes, if not more. So we'll do that in the next episode. For now, thanks for watching, and until the next one, take care.